In this video, I want to show you the map setup menu on the Garmin Oregon 600 series. There are two ways in which we can get to this menu. The first way is from the main menu, open up the drawer, select Setup, and then Map. The other way we can get here is from the map screen, wherever you are. I'll zoom in a little bit on this actually, but wherever you are on the map screen, you can hit the three-bar menu in the lower right-hand corner and select the very first option, which is Setup Map. Some different options we have here. Configure Maps shows us what maps are loaded onto the GPS and gives us the option to turn them on or off. You can do that by either selecting it, and that'll prompt you to enable or disable. The other way is you have kind of this orange rectangle there on the right with, it sort of looks like a slider on it, but if you just tap that, that'll move the slider down. It's grayed out and that map is turned off. Just tap it again to turn it back on. Second one down is orientation, set to track up. We also have north up or automotive mode, and that's going to display or determine rather which way is pointing up when you're on the map screen. Below that we have dashboard, which is currently set to none. To show this to you, I'll go to stopwatch and then go back to the map, and now you can see that it is displaying a stopwatch along the top of the screen. And I'll give you one more example of that. Here is, we have small data fields, and you can see that as well. Now it's showing part of the trip computer. Below those small data fields, there's a small arrow pointing up. When we tap that, it'll make the dashboard disappear. That arrow now moves up to the top of the screen. Tap it again, it'll bring the dashboard back into place. Below, let me turn that off. Next up, we have guidance text, which you can set to never when navigating or always. Right now it's on never. So when I hit always, right now it's showing that GPS is off, but depending on what kind of settings we have, it might show ready to navigate. If you're on a route, it might give you information on that. Again, this depends on your settings and what maps that you have loaded onto the GPS. We have map speed next. It's set to fast, and map speed determines the rate at which the map will be redrawn. So if you pan over to a different location, there's the speed at which the map draws itself again. Right now, again, set to fast. And when I set it to normal, show you what that looks like, it is going to draw itself again a little bit slower, but it will also help to preserve battery life a little bit. Finally, at the bottom we have Advanced Setup, and the three-bar menu gives us the option for Help or Restore Defaults. The Help feature here is actually very handy. If you forget what any of this stuff does or what these terms mean, there's a lot of good information in here if you need it. Looking at the Advanced Map Setup now, the very first one in the list, we have Detail, and we can set that between the most detail or the least amount of detail. Shaded relief is currently set to auto, but you can have show if available or do not show. That's more so for showing information for the worldwide base map or for topo maps. You can change the vehicle that displays on the GPS. There's some defaults in there and different ones from which you can choose. And then you have zoom controls. You have auto zoom. Again, that's if you are routing. You can set it to auto zoom in and out, kind of like a Nuvi would. You can also determine where the buttons are on the mapping screen to zoom in and out. You can set them to the left or right on the sides, and you can set that for portrait or landscape mode. Zoom levels. This one is actually a pretty cool feature, and we have some different options here. Map points, user waypoints, street label, and land cover. So in order to demonstrate this for you, what I'm going to do is go back to my map screen, and I want to mark a waypoint. So I'll hit the user key to mark a waypoint. I'm going to give it the name of Map Setup. Okay. So I'll zoom in a little bit, and there it is, map setup right there on the map. It is displaying the name. I'll go back to the advanced map setup now. Whoops. Go back to advanced setup and to zoom levels. And what this feature does, so when I go to waypoints, I can tell the GPS, for example, don't show me the names of any waypoints until I zoom in to the 50-foot level. Or don't show me the names of any waypoints until I zoom into the 500-foot level, or don't show me the names of any waypoints until I zoom into the 2-mile level, which is what I'll set it at now. So I'm setting this at 2 miles. Right now, on the map screen, we are at 0.5 miles, and it's showing us map setup. Zoom out a little bit to 0.8, still showing us map setup. Zoom out a little bit more, still there. Now I'm at 2 miles. It shows us map setup still. If I zoom out one more time, it's going to disappear, and it's gone because I exceeded that 2-mile rate that I set from that menu. So again, you can do that with any of the features listed in there with map points, user waypoints, street labels like street names, and land cover. This is a new feature for Garmin units, and it's a pretty cool one. Finally, the last item that we have in our advanced map setup menu is text size, which you can set text size from largest to smallest with the same items as before: map points, user waypoints, street label, or land cover. In the lower right-hand corner again is a 3-bar menu, gives us the option again to restore defaults. So that is a quick look at the map setup menu on the Garmin Oregon 600 series.